basically belong to different states, civil society space, and they have been contributed in a very proactive way to you.
Thank you very much, Yasser. As you have seen from the title of our panel, is mostly focusing on two aspects, CSR and social entrepreneurship. I would like personally to zoom on social entrepreneurship, because it's a topic very important to youth and very important to the difference we can make in society. And also, I don't want to be academic, but I would like to start first by trying to define social entrepreneurship, because I've realized that many of us, even those who are CSR experts, I just had this conversation by coincidence with a colleague, many of them ignore what actually social entrepreneurship really means. So I was just curious to ask in the room if someone would like to suggest his or her own definition of social entrepreneurship. Any volunteer in the room for telling me what social entrepreneurship really is? You see, I was right to suggest something by defining social entrepreneurship. Actually, I will make it very simple. Ideally, I would like to imagine that all of us in the room can be social entrepreneurs to be. Social entrepreneurship is very simply about just identifying a problem in society and then deciding to act on that problem, not to leave it unresolved or to stand still in front of it. So we decide to take action. Basically, there is the word entrepreneurship because you're acting, but it can be for not-profit. Where people get the word entrepreneurship, some people think that social entrepreneur is only supposed to make money out of it or to be profit. Some people, when they hear the word social, on the contrary, they think that it should be only philanthropy and charity. Well, it could be either or. So you could have a social entrepreneur who just identifies the problem, decides to act on it, and launch a very profitable venture, but still he or she is doing good deeds. So that's a social entrepreneurship initiative. And another social entrepreneur is just a philanthropic person who just wants to do it with no specific business model. That's social entrepreneurship as well. I would like to focus, since Yasser, good friend, highlighted the NGO umbrella, which I'm carrying. I would like to focus on social entrepreneurship by talking about NGOs in the region specifically, since we have to focus also on the region, which needs a lot of social entrepreneurship. I happen to be this year, I'm lucky to be elected on the board of JCI. Some of you might know it. It's called Junior Chamber International. It's the largest federation of young active citizens in the world, almost a bit less than 200,000 young active citizens between 18 and 40. Active citizens is our own terminology for social entrepreneurship at JCI. So at JCI, what we do is that we're getting out of this cliché that we're saying, okay, we heard a lot of things, and I'm happy that Professor Mangalachi also emphasizes that, there is a lot to be done, and we need to do something about it, but we're not receiving funds or we're not receiving any guidance support from the government. This is the easy way out to say that, okay, we're not going to act about the problem. But as active citizens, as social entrepreneurs in JCI, we said, okay, we're going to do it in a more systematic way. We are going to have our own methodology. So what we do is that there is a synergy between the three partners, which is the private sector or the business, what we call the private or business sector, and the NGOs or association, and the government. And we believe that only through this tripartite successful synergy, we can make a lot of difference in society. We have tried that model. I mean, it sounds as simple as it's really the ABC of common sense, maybe, but still it works. And sometimes we need to formulate things in a clear and systematic manner to be more conscious about it. We have been trying that model, the synergy between those three partners everywhere around the world, and it has been doing wonders when it comes to social entrepreneurship. I can give you, for instance, an example of this synergy between the three partners, the stakeholders, how it worked in Lebanon, with JCI Lebanon. A couple of years ago, there was an initiative called CRAFT, which is the campaign for recycling among the friendly streets. And I think we have someone in the room also who was initiating that, or 2-3 persons at least who worked on that initiative. It was a very successful thing because a group of young people came and said, you know what, we're having that problem is that we're not doing enough recycling in Lebanon. And especially when it comes to the corporations, we're throwing all that paper, it's non-recyclable, and we don't know what to do with it. So they came up with a recycling initiative to preserve trees. And that was done with, I see the father of that initiative laughing back there. And that was done with the support of the Ministry of Environment back then, and what was called the Ministry of Youth, shadow government, our newspaper, etc. So you have the government from one side, you have associations like NDAC, JCI, and the shadow government, and you have corporations who supported it back then, like for instance, plenty of Indesco, Reuters, 200 companies where the recycling bins were installed. So that's an example of how the synergy can identify a social entrepreneurship problem and work on it. So this is what I want to say as a specific example. I don't want to talk a lot to leave the room for Q&A, but just to say that ultimately, really, I think that we should all think in terms of social entrepreneurship more than CSR maybe, because it's somewhere in the middle between philanthropy and the markets. So this is also what Professor Magalaj was talking a bit about, is that trying maybe to see, especially now in tough economic times, maybe companies, corporations are less and less inclined to, let's say, free CSR or philanthropy for the sake of philanthropy. So there is often that attitude of what's in it for us. And as a matter of fact, in social entrepreneurship, there's a lot for any company as long as we can prove how they can be partner, full-fledged partner in the social issue. So I really wish, I would like to